My 23F friend, 23F, sent nudes to my husband, 31M, and he rejected her but never told me anything. Sorry if the post is too long, I did my best to summarize. When we were in our senior year of high school, he, 31M, was our substitute teacher, and obviously all the girls liked him because he was the only young teacher we had, and I'd, 23F, be lying if I said that no one tried to flirt with him, because we all did at the time, but he was always very professional and never tried anything with any of us. He and I met again a year after my graduation, and that's when we started dating, and at first my friend, 23F, used to joke saying things like that I was very lucky to have what everyone wanted in high school. And at first it was funny because things between my husband and I weren't that serious, but then our relationship became like really serious, and I didn't like those jokes anymore, and I let her know, and she stopped. And for years she never did those kinds of jokes again. She got a boyfriend too, so I thought all those things she said were part of the past. But it was not like that. A few days ago I was taking pictures of our baby and our dogs with my husband's phone, since his phone is 1,000 times better than mine, and at that moment he received a DM from an anonymous Instagram account, so I opened and I didn't like what I saw at all, because it was a video of my friend touching herself. At first I was too naive and thought, well, maybe she sent it to the wrong person, but then she said something like she was mad that he blocked her main account, and asked him if he liked the other videos, which means that she sent him other videos from her main account. So I found the chat, and yes, he had blocked her, but the chat was still there, which means he can see those pics and videos whenever he wants, and just thinking about it makes me feel really sick. In that chat she confessed that she has always been in love with him, and that her boyfriend doesn't satisfy her because she can only think about him, and that she knows that lately he's not having much fun, and if he wants she can give him a hand without anyone knowing. And that hurt me so much, because a few weeks ago we talked about how I felt ashamed of having sex again because I gave birth 2 months ago, and that I feel insecure about my body. But I told her that as good friends that I thought we were, because I expected her to give me advice or something. I don't know. I didn't expect her to try to fuck my husband. And the only thing my husband told her was that she was crazy and that he was going to show me that chat so that I can see who she really is, and then he blocked her. But it's been a few days and he never showed me those chats, and that makes me think that maybe he liked those pics and videos, so I confronted him. And he told me that he doesn't even care about her, and that he didn't tell me anything about those messages because he didn't know how to tell me, and because he thought that finding out about that could have been bad for me. I had a really bad time during my pregnancy, and he has been very concerned about my health ever since, so that's why he said that. And he told me that's why he locked himself in his office every time she came to visit us, because she makes him feel uncomfortable. Then I asked him if he thinks our sex life is boring, and he said no, that he is satisfied and that he didn't mind not having sex for weeks, because when we had sex again it felt like the first time, and hearing that was really nice. But I can't stop thinking about why he didn't delete the chat. He says it was so he could show me when he's ready, but I don't know. Now we are on vacation, but all I can do is think about that. Even every time we have sex I think that maybe I'm not enough, and that's why he didn't delete that chat, to see her pics and videos. And he noticed that, so he told me 1,000 times that he thinks I'm hot, and that he only thinks of me when we have sex, and that he only saw those pics and videos when he opened the chat the first time, and that he never saw them again. He even told me that the only time he ever masturbated looking at someone's pictures was looking at pictures of me from when I was pregnant, and he swore he doesn't even think my so-called friend is attractive, and I want to believe him, but at the same time I feel confused. We've been together for 5 years and I never felt that way, and I don't know what to do to stop feeling that way. Maybe it's the hormones, I don't know, but I feel so sad and so bad about myself. And I would like to know how I could deal with this. TLDR, my friend sent nudes to my husband, he rejected and blocked her, but I did not delete the chat, and now I feel like he didn't delete that chat to see her pics and videos whenever he wants. Update. When I posted that, I hadn't talked to my friend yet. I wasn't going to confront her on the phone, we had to have a face-to-face talk. So when I got back from my trip 2 days ago I decided to go to her house, and I told her everything I saw, and of course she made up 1,000 excuses. And being honest, that pissed me off because she was playing the victim, and I wasn't going to believe that shit, so I told her to stop lying, but she kept lying and she was getting on my nerves, so I started crying because it hurt me to see how she was lying like we hadn't been best friends for years. And apparently that made her mad, because she started saying so many horrible things that I couldn't even believe she was saying that. She said that she always got what she wanted and that she couldn't understand how someone like me could get what she wanted so much, and even tried to make me look like the bad guy and accused me of harassing my husband in the past. She says that because I went to the same college where he was doing his PhD, but I didn't know that because I never had contact with him, it was a coincidence. And she knows that perfectly well, but she kept saying things like that anyway. She told me that I hooked up with him because I wanted to prove to her that I can also get what I want. But that's not true. I never planned any of this, it just happened, but according to her I'm the psychopath who harassed him and trapped him with a baby that he didn't want. Which is also a lie because our baby was planned and she knows that too, so I don't know why she was saying those things. It's like she's gone crazy or something. What hurts the most is that it is as if she thinks that our years of friendship were just a competition about who was the prettiest, but I always knew this because she was always the prettiest and I was her shadow, but I was fine with that, the most intelligent, the most successful with men, etc. But for me our friendship was more than that. I really loved her and I would never have thought that everything would end like this, because I trusted her with my whole life. She was there when I took my pregnancy test, when I was pregnant, and even when my daughter was born, and those moments were really important in my life and she knew it. So I don't know what happened to her reacting like this. She is acting like a psycho and it honestly scares me. If my husband didn't reject her, was she going to sleep with him while pretending to be my friend? Just thinking about it makes me feel sick to my stomach. I told her that now she is dead to me and she didn't even care. She kept trying to make me feel bad, and of course I left. I didn't want to listen to her. I just want everything that happened to be a dream, but since it isn't, I guess from now on I'll have to learn to live without her. But that's my therapist's business, not Reddit's. TLDR, I talked to my friend, she made excuses and said horrible things about me and we fought, and I told her that from now on she is dead to me. Second story. My 35M, wife of 5 years, 29F, cheated. TLDR, my wife had sex with someone she met in a store. Wants to maintain a friendship with both me and the person she cheated on me with. My wife of 5 years cheated by sleeping with a stranger she met in a store. They exchanged numbers, spoke, had drinks, and she took him to her hotel room and had sex with him. She confessed everything to me and firmly admits that the story, as crazy as it sounds, is true. Our marriage had been pretty shaky and this was the reason for her taking a break and booking a hotel room in the first place. She went out on the town and this is where she met the stranger. We still love and care about each other however, and it would be nice for us to remain friends. Is this healthy? Secondly, she stayed in touch with the person she had sex with after their encounter and she has developed a strong connection and liking with this person even though she has only known this person for 3 weeks. She refers to it as love at first sight. She claims to still love me. She has since moved out and now has her own place. I told her that if we were to remain friends in any capacity, then you can't remain in a relationship or in open communication with the person that you've cheated on me with. She's finding this to be a difficult ask because she does not want to lose our friendship but also has somehow developed a deep connection with her 3-week-old dealings with her *male equivalent of Mistress Star. Is this a reasonable request? Edit. Thank you guys for the kind and not so kind words. I appreciate all the advice. I will seek out a therapist to get through this as it is indeed a painful moment in my life. I guess deep down I know none of this was a good idea, but maybe I was shocked by her admission and further freaking audacious actions coupled with the reality of the last 5 years of building, traveling, fun and happy times, and my once best friend in life and first true love all coming to an end. I am definitely allowing my emotions to hold me hostage here. The friendship obviously would not benefit me in any resourceful way, but I can see how it would benefit her in many ways. A security blanket, as someone put it. I also agree that at this point I cannot dictate who she sees or befriends. Knowing that she still wanted some kind of relationship with the guy that she cheated on me with, I should have simply declined the mere notion of us being friends. To those seeking more details. No, we don't have kids. I have pressed her on the met at a store story several times, but she doubles down on it. Says she understands that the behavior was unsafe and unhealthy, but she was in a vulnerable place due to the marital funk when she first met the guy and accepted his number and his request to have drinks. Also blames some of her actions on alcohol. This woman came into my life when I was in a dark place myself. She is a big reason why I am the person I am today, as she's helped build me up in many ways. So it seems to me that one of the reasons why I still wanted to be there for her after what happened was probably to show gratitude. As some has pointed out, it probably has to do with not having better self-esteem as well. I'm also aware that she can have suicidal thoughts and speak in really dark terms when she goes through situations like this, and she has during this process, especially when she thought she was going to be homeless, etc. But I am coming to the realization that the same way I must now seek help to better myself, so does she. She cannot expect me to care more for her than she does for herself. Especially in a moment like this, I must prioritize myself and my mental health if I am to move past this. Throughout the years we've had some marital issues, typically in the form of verbal abuse on both ends. When arguments occur, some pretty horrible things get said both by me and by her. We tried to change this, but it didn't seem to be working out. She claims that this is what drove her to do what she did. The break in question was not a separation. We were having discussions on whether we should call it quits or not after our last big fight. She then said that she needs space for herself, and this is when she went out of town for a couple days. She even asked me to join her on the first day night, which I did. The next day is when the situation happened with the stranger. I still cannot make sense of all of it. Some of it definitely seems made up and like she's lying. Others just seem like pretty irrational behavior of which she's blaming on things that I've said in arguments. Whether it was planned or not. Oh, I done out of anger. It's blatantly disrespectful no matter how you look at it. If we were to end things. Fine, let's do that first, then pursue your rendezvous. As much as it still hurts and as painful as all of this is, I am now filing for divorce. I stopped all contact with her, except for how to distribute our assets, and I'll be getting a therapist. Thank you for your time, words, encouragement and advice. It has helped me gain some clarity on things I was in obvious denial about. TLDR, I'm filing for divorce on the ground of infidelity. We've halted contact and minimal communication, and I'll be seeing a therapist soon. Update. Thank you guys for the kind and not so kind words. I appreciate all the advice. I will seek out a therapist to get through this, as it is indeed a painful moment in my life. I guess deep down I know none of this was a good idea, but maybe I was shocked by her admission and further freaking audacious actions, coupled with the reality of the last 5 years of building, traveling, fun and happy times, and my once best friend in life and first true love all coming to an end. I am definitely allowing my emotions to hold me hostage here. The friendship obviously would not benefit me in any resourceful way, but I can see how it would benefit her in many ways. A security blanket, as someone put it. I also agree that at this point I cannot dictate who she sees or befriends. Knowing that she still wanted some kind of relationship with the guy that she cheated on me with, I should have simply declined the mere notion of us being friends.